Okay, so the remainder of the list, and because my printer has decided it just wants to conveniently run out of ink, luckily I'm able to take a photo of it with my my old iPad, and basically I can see the rest of the list that I had. So sorry that I have to kind of read from this, but needs must. So I'm just going to very quickly go, I'm just going to read the whole lot out. Make of it what you will, but I'm not going to go into too much detail apart from where I've already mentioned them just now. So 101 to 152 is what I had at the end of the day. Hopefully no repeats. So 101, Le Havre. Literally just missed the top 100. Yep, Le Havre made 101. And then 102 was Unusual Suspects, cool game. 103 was Imhotep, cool gateway dry game. 104 is Werewords. Didn't like Insider, but Werewords added an extra twist that makes me like it more. 105, Cockroach Poker Royale, and 106, Liar's Dice. 107, Love Letter, and that can be any kind of love letter. I still think it's a great microfiller game. And I've got rid of Love Letter Premium so that I could have Lovecraft Letter, because it pretty much is the same game, but with an added twist. 108, Pathfinder Adventure Card Game, specifically because Skulls and Shackles. That was the one I had. Probably would be a bit lower by now, but still, cool game. 109, Sylveon, one of my solo-only games. Great game. 110, Onirim, 2nd edition. So they were very close. I slightly prefer Sylveon, but I enjoy them both as solo games. They're both on my shelf. I suck right royally at Onirim. I don't know how people win it, because I seem to struggle to, even with a base set. But Sylveon I managed to, and it's pretty good in that respect. And yeah, you'll be wondering where all the pictures are. I'm not going to get pictures for all 50 of these games, okay? It's like, take me forever. You know, just look up the title on Board Game Geek and you'll see it. 111, Paperback. 112, Penigo. Yeah, it's a cool little 2-player abstract game. I like it. 113, Survive Escape from Atlantis, I mentioned. This is odd. 114 Cockroach Poker. I seem to have had it on here twice, unfortunately. This is like the normal version as opposed to the royal one. Yeah, that one, it's on there, but yeah, we could probably disregard that. I think that was a slight error in judgment. Thankfully, it never hit the top 100. 115, Dragon's Gold. 116, Biblios. 117, Firenze. Yeah, we just mentioned all of those. 118, King of New York. Looks like I separated them out, actually. 119, Lagrania. So, yeah, it's still there, holding strong. 120, Sushi Go Party. Still really enjoying it, just not top 100 material. 121, Tigris and Euphrates. Yes, I still really enjoy a dry Euro game. Thank you very much, people. 122, Concept. 123, Airlines Europe. Managed to get a copy of it finally from a guy at the expo, and it's probably one of my more preferred stock market style games. It's not a genre I typically like, but that one makes a very good sort of gateway version of it. 124, Kanagawa. It's kind of a bit all over the shop there, but this one right here with the, with the Deers Bruno Cafala game. Nice little like push your luck game. Just nice to bring out every now and again. 125, Amerigo. Still going strong, just made the 125. 126, Empires of the Void. Like I say, looking forward to the 2nd edition. Once the 2nd edition comes out, this 1st edition will be redundant. 127, Jaipur, the 2-player card game, right? It's just not a sync. Sorry about that, but if you've played a lot of games, you know what Jaipur is. Cool little 2-player only game. 128, it looks like I did put Pandemic Legacy on the list. You know, still enjoy it, but yeah, that could probably be disregarded by now as well. I don't mind the fact that there's maybe 1 or 2 errors on the list when I'm below the 100, because these were literally like, still really like these games, but they didn't make the actual top 100, and thankfully there was no errors on that list. 129, Kina Tokyo, separated out. 130, Dimension, right there. Cool puzzle game, speed puzzle game, where you're stacking pyramids of little balls, little marbles. Great little filler, easy to teach, easy to play. I enjoy it. 131, Crisis. Can I get that one? Crisis, I don't normally like economic games, but this is one that I can get behind. It's got some neat ideas. I like the fact that you're keeping a city under control, so you're, to stop it going bankruptcy. I bring it out every once in a while, provided I can remember the rules, and, still solid. 132, Dead Men Tell No Tales. This would probably go a bit lower now because I have sold my copy. It's fun, but it's got elements of Pandemic, so I'd rather have Iberia, and it's got aspects of Flashpoint Fire Rescue, I'd rather have Flashpoint Fire Rescue, so I was about to point it out, but it's down there. You know, so this would probably go a bit lower now. 133, Zolkin the Mayan Calendar that I just mentioned. 134, Adventurer's Temple of Shak. Really cool, sort of gateway level, you know, Indiana Jones type, light-hearted, fun game. Cool, just takes a little bit to set up and teach people because there's all the different spaces there. But it's a good laugh. It's just got to take it with a bit of silliness to it. 135, Mijin Leaf, or whatever. I can't even pronounce that. But basically, it's this little abstract game here for 2 players. It comes in a little bag. It has these like cool little wooden tiles. I forget who the publisher is. Who's the publisher? Hopwood Games. Okay, yeah. And basically, you've got these like little grid boards, but you're putting on tiles. If I can get them out of the bag, that look like, I don't know if you can see them very well, but if you can't see them, I'll look it up. It's spelt Mijnlief. It's a bit of a weird spelling, but it's a cool abstract game. Fits in a nice little bag and has been in my collection for a little while now. So go look it up. It's better than you might expect. Back to me iPad. Number 136, Tatsu. Cool little 2-player abstract game, bit like backgammon. 137. This one's definitely dropped more. I think maybe the buzz has gone from it now, and that was Lorenzo e Magnifico. Did a review for it recently. Still, I enjoy it, but yeah, this wouldn't make my top 150 anymore. This has definitely gone down from recent plays. It's starting to get a little bit samey. It's, you know, the cards are the good variety, but it's a fixed number. It can be quite punishing. It's kind of going downhill, that one. 138, Hyperborea. 139, Century Spice Road, recent edition. Still cool, still like it, just drags on a bit with too many players, and to be honest, this will probably drop off that 150 entirely next time, because to be honest, I have Splendor, much prefer it. 140, Android Netrunner. Yeah, this will definitely fall off the list, because bear in mind this list was done sort of back in July times, and I sold my Android Netrunner collection because I just couldn't keep up with it. Still really enjoy the game. I think the game's amazing. It's great design, but just couldn't keep up with it. Too many packs, too many LCGs. It's not co-op, so I can't play it solo. And I'm starting to get a little bit annoyed with tournament scenes now for these type of games, because it's just too stressful. People are out to win rather than have fun, it seems. And it's just not for me anymore. Still a great game, though. And I hear there's actually a revised core set coming out soon, actually. So if you wanted to get into Netrunner and you thought, I'm miles behind, keep an eye out for that core set, okay? Worth your time. 141, Among the Stars. Yeah, just mentioned. 142, Android Mainframe. This would probably drop down a bit further now as well, but it's a cool little abstract game. Very mean. 143, Chess. Yeah, I do like chess. I used to play it as a kid in school, in a chess club. Used to play it as a teenager with a pub league, with a lot of people that were way older than me, it seems. But I still enjoy chess. It's a great game. I even like when on Facebook sometimes those puzzles come up where it says, you know, this is the situation, what's White's next move? I like doing those. They're good fun. Still enjoy chess. Just never get to play it anymore. It's a shame. 144, Friday. Friday is a cool solo deck building game. I enjoy it. I had too many solo games. I had to get rid of some. So I donated it to Board in the City. It's there if you want to play it. But it's a cool little solo deck builder and definitely worth a try. And I think there's a really cool app for it now as well. So I do have that on my Android tablet now. So if I want to play it, it's there. 145, Hanabi. Nearly missed the list entirely, actually. 146, Hive, or Hive Pocket, doesn't really matter. I think the Carbon version looks best, but Hive is a really cool 2-player abstract game, just really hard to get 2 players to the table, so these ones suffer a little bit. And it doesn't have quite that same like amazingness as something like Yinch and Onitama did. 147, yeah, this has definitely dropped more. HMS Dolores, I've donated that to Board in the City. Cool little game where it mimics the Prisoner's Dilemma, but nobody really wanted to play it, and even then it kind of fell flat. So this would drop off the list next time easily, but it's still alright. 148, Twilight Imperium 3rd edition. You know, like I say, it's just difficult to get it to the table, but I still really enjoy it when I can, and we'll see whether TI4 can make the list again next time. 149 Spirium, so yep, still going strong. I would still play it if you offered. 150 Timeline, doesn't matter which timeline, although I personally prefer Inventions. I think that's my favourite one, but I've tried British History, I've tried Science and Discoveries. Haven't tried Star Wars or Music and Cinema, those ones aren't desperate for me, but it's a cool game if you want to bring in that person who is more into trivia games than they are actual games. It's a cool one. 151 Codenames Pictures. This has probably dropped further now because I'm starting to get a little bit bored with Codenames, Codenames Pictures is my preferred one. The new duet version is okay. I thought it was alright, but, still basically just Codenames. And the original Codenames, I just find the words are too restrictive. Pictures gives you a bit more freedom in coming up with the words, but yeah, I'm just kind of done with Codenames. I mean, I've played it a lot, and it's always going the same way, really. You sit there, stare at a bunch of words for a long, long time. It's alright, but I think it's had its day, and I think it's time to sort of put it aside and come up with some other games. And then finally, 152 Tumbling Dice, which you probably can't see. I think it's just out of shot. But it's a cool dexterity game. I bring it to the odd sort of Portsmouth on board conventions now and again, just for like little mini tournaments, a bit of fun. It's a cool one. Sits on there. I wish I had a slightly smaller version, but yeah, Tumbling Dice is still an enjoyable dexterity game, and I don't have many, if any, other dexterity games, actually. I think probably Tumbling Dice is my preferred one at the moment. I enjoy them, but they're not ones I like to keep. I think they're just ones that I'll play every now and again. So yeah, that's all the games that were, on that list as a time. And there are other games I think on my shelf that I still enjoy that I just thought, these are not going to hit the top 100, so I didn't even include them. I can see... I can see no thanks. I can see... actually... Oh yeah, oh no, Not Alone, that did make the list. No. Most of these games actually made the list. I think there's only a couple of fillers that didn't really. Fury of Dracula is still sitting on my shelf, but I haven't had a chance to actually play it, so that wasn't going to make the list. One Night Alien, well I already mentioned One Night Werewolf, so that's pretty much the same thing. Tobago, I got it recently after I made the list, and I'm in an army where I want to keep it. Yeah, oh yeah, Ashes, Rise of the Phoenix Born. Maybe a top 200, but haven't really been able to get it played because, again, 2-player, it's a nightmare to get it played. I don't know if you can play it with more than 2 players, I'd have to see, but again, I'd have to teach it, and I'm barely even understand the game so far because I've only played it a couple of times as demos. So it was one that I kind of impulse buy more than anything else. Whether I'll hang on to it, it depends. Dice Portsmouth, hello? You're supposed to be playing that game with me, okay? Email me, text me, whatever. Still enjoyable though. If you live in the Portsmouth area and you have that game actually and you want some games, then by all means get in touch. I wouldn't mind actually bringing it out and trying to learn it a bit more. So finally, to wrap up this episode, the contributors, basically all you guys who submitted ideas and games that you didn't hear on the list and you wanted to hear more about. I'm not going to go through any that I've already said, either through my top 152 or the ones that fell off the list, because, well, you've got my reasons there. And there were some that were mentioned. I mean, Le Havre, people wondered, what gives. People wanted to know about Euphoria. They wanted to know about Zolkin because it was right behind my head for most of the episodes. TI3 people were interested in. And yeah, and Pandemic Legacy. Yeah, they were interested in that one too. So yeah, I mean, those ones got mentioned, but there's a few extras here. So let's just go through some of those right now. So let's make a start. Hopefully you can still see me alright. The lights are dimming already. I mean, these batteries are not as useful as I would have hoped. I might have to get some more. But also, if you can hear the odd bit of trickling water outside, I do apologise. It is coughing up a storm out there. Gale force winds and high rain. But yeah, I'm in Britain, so our weather pales in comparison to what America's had to go through lately. And so best wishes to everybody over there who got caught in the recent Hurricane Irma and various other, Storm Harvey, that sort of thing. Hope you're doing well. I wish I could do more to help, but, good luck to you all, okay? Anyway, on with what I was on about. Yes, contributor stuff. So, first up, we have Between Two Cities. I think it's okay. I like the design of it. The whole, you draft. I mean, drafting's a fun mechanic, and having to sort of coerce with both neighbours. I think there's just not enough variety in the game for me. There's very few different types of buildings in the base set, and they're all pretty much just score points in fairly basic ways. I haven't tried the expansion. Maybe that would improve it for me, but yeah, it was never really going to make a top 150, but I'll play it now and again because it is a nice quick way to get 7 people around and play a decent drafting game. So yeah, I'm fine with it, no problem. Glass Road. Glass Road, I like most of Glass Road. I like the resource management. I like that cool little rondel wheel. I like the whole fact that you're building something up in front of you and you have the different buildings. One aspect of that game though puts me right off, and I mean right off. And that is the card play. There's simultaneous card play where you have to place a card down that will do an action, but if you can avoid copying anybody else, then you get bonus actions. I think it's something like that. I might be slightly wrong. But basically, you get an advantage if you don't accidentally copy someone else. That just killed the game for me, because you can make whatever educated guesses you like about whether somebody's going to play a particular card or not, but you'll probably get it wrong half the time. And sometimes it may be just complete luck. And somebody who gets more actions than you do is going to do better than you. And it just really, that just soured the game. It seemed a bit too punishing for something that is not really entirely within your control. So yeah, it's one of my least favourites of Uri Rosenberg's line. I still even prefer things like Feast for Odin to it. And that's like a heavy, dry game. So yeah, Glass Road just didn't really sit well with me. Great Western Trail. Yeah. I've had enough of ninja cows and all that lot for 1 week. Terraforming Mars, yeah, no surprise this one came up. I'm okay with Terraforming Mars, but as I said with the review, that the drafting's fun, but you have to do it, otherwise the game's just random as all get out. But even with the drafting, you just may never see the cards you want. And so somebody who does see the cards they want is going to do a lot better. The game can go on for way too long for what it is. I mean, I have played a reasonably quick game for it recently, but you're still talking 2.5 hours plus. And for the amount of engagement you have in the game, it's just a bit too long, because I can sort of go, right, I'm going to do these actions on my turn, and then I'll run out of money. And then I'm waiting ages for people to hurry up and think of their actions, and there's too much downtime in it for me. But my biggest bugbear with it is that I don't like how the cards dictate your path to victory in it. I want to be this is supposed to be a thematic game where I can do something, whatever I want to Mars. So I want to be the gardener, and therefore I'm going to plant lots of trees. Too bad, the cards in the court that came your way are all asking you to build cities. What if I don't want to build cities? Tough, you're doing it. Okay, alright, well this time I don't want to be the gardener. I want to be, I've got this heating corp. I want to heat up the planet as fast as I can. Too bad, loads of green cards are in the deck and all the gardening stuff's coming out. Well, I don't want to be the gardener. And it's like, well, you have to, tough. That just doesn't sit well with me. I want to choose my own path. I don't want the game to tell me what I can and can't do. For a game like that, a long Euro, it doesn't sit well with me, but I do respect it. I will play a game of Terraforming Mars. It's not one that I dislike. It's not something like I say, Great Western Trail. I mean, I gave it a 5. Might even be lower for me now. I really just don't get the hype with that game. But Terraforming Mars, I can see the goodness in it. It just has some aspects that kind of rub me the wrong way. But I will still play it every now and again. Food Chain Magnate. What? That was horrible. I wish I didn't have to do that. But yeah, come on. That was trolling me, guys. You know exactly what I think of that game. No way. Concordia. Oh, for God's sake. Oh, you're really trolling me now. Concordia. I feel like I'm beating a dead horse with this one. Look. It's dry as a bone. It's traded into Mediterranean. It's just Go around, build a few cities, trade silk. Whoopee! And the card mechanics stenciled on like wouldn't believe. And I don't like how it's so punishing that if you don't get the cards you need for the scoring, you are done. And yeah, you can say, well, be better at the game, but somebody else might have just beaten you to the punch, or you just might not conveniently have enough silk, or food, or brick, or whatever you're supposed to do for those cards, and somebody else might just grab it for you. And to be fair, you've got about 5 or 6 different ways they score. About 3 of them are actually worth going after. The others are just like, well, who on earth has won the game by collecting 1 point for every 10 denarii? Who's actually won the game by having a ton of brick cities and specialising in that? No, people build cities all over the place in lots of different provinces and maybe just harvest resources. That's pretty much it. You're kind of just doing the same old thing. I just hate that game. Stupid game. Don't like it. Yep, definitely getting the impression that people are trolling me. Betrayal on House of the Hill. I don't mind the theme of it. You know, the theme's okay. But I don't want a game that... well, basically, this is kind of what sums up Betrayal on House on the Hill, okay? So it's like, begin the game. Ooh, gotta go find these things. Yes, oh my god, dogs, bats, everything. Oh, the haunt is coming! The haunt is coming! You know, literally, it is a game that starts off with Finders Keepers. If you remember that old sort of children's ITV program where kids run around this playhouse and just chuck everything everywhere. Starts off as that. Gets halfway, then the haunt happens, and then it's a Windows crash. The game just breaks. Like 75% of the time, the game just breaks. You know, I don't want that. And when they brought out a revised version, they didn't do anything to fix it. And then they brought out the expansion, Widow's Wail, or Widow's Walk, or whatever it was called. Widow's Wail? I think that's a Game of Thrones sword, actually. Widow's Walk or something. And it didn't fix either. Those were broken as well. I've seen reports, I've seen feedback, you know, that those scenarios were also broken or too complex. Seriously, how hard could it be to make that game just function? It doesn't matter if it's good or not, just make it function, honestly. Just do not get that one at all. The Palaces of Carrera. Now this is a good one, actually. Let me grab it. Okay. Now, the only reason... This would make my top 100. Guaranteed this is a top 100. Possibly even a top 50. Really enjoying this one at the moment. There was a problem though. This one, I had it. I literally got it as I was making the list. And I didn't really get it to the table until after, during the list. And it was just a bit too late to really consider it. But now that I've played it, I like this game. This is a great Euro, and I hope I'll get time to do a sort of bonus review of it for you, okay? Because people have requested it, and I would like to do so. But yeah, it's a cool little game. Certainly very interested in it. Automania. Yeah, I have to admit, I have spoken about this before. I do like the game. I need to play it a bit more, though. I haven't had enough plays. And it is actually on my shelf down there. I just really haven't had a chance to get it to the table much and see what it has to offer. So, yeah, I mean, it's just not really had the time to consider, really. But, you know, otherwise, still pretty enjoyable and still a great, cool game. Okay, we got 3 more to go, and then we can wrap this up. Through the Ages. It's a cool game, and, you know, I do like it. Preferably the 4th edition, which is certainly a lot better than the 3rd edition. It's just too long. The war is very punishing in it. I mean, even with 2 players, this game is relentlessly long. The 4th edition is definitely a lot better than the 3rd. I'll give it that. Very cool game, but I've got Nations. And Nations only made 98, and I still prefer Nations to Through the Ages. So, I respect Through the Ages. I really do. I don't think it's a bad game at all. It's just far too long for me. Just not really going to hit it off. The Colonists. If it wasn't 7+ hours long to play the entire game, and if it didn't have that fiddly storage mechanic, I'd probably quite like it. You know, the storage mechanic for me just really grates me. This whole like, oh, you've got to constantly chop and change everything that's in your warehouse and your storage shed. You know, because for some reason I can only store 3 bricks in there. You know, why can't I just store bricks outside? It's not like it's the modern 20th century. You know, people aren't going to just steal my random bricks. And it just got so fiddly to have to contend with that every turn for all that time. And you can get that same feeling of building up a city or building up a civilization in 2 hours. I have Caverna, I have Fields of Arle, I have Le Havre, I have Feast for Odin even, I have Civilization the board game. I've got umpteen amount of ways that I can say, right, I am going to build a civilization. Why do I need to play this one for 7 hours? It's okay, but yeah, just way too long. I don't see the point of playing this one for 7+ hours, or even like 5 hours. I mean, it just takes far too long when you've got all these other cool Euro games that do the same sort of feeling in like a third, if that, of the time. It's just, don't see the point with that one. And finally, last one on this lot, Big Trouble in Little China Legendary. Now, Big Trouble in Little China Legendary, apart from like 1 or 2 minor tweaks, is basically a carbon copy of Marvel Legendary. So yeah, it understands that I should like the game. And I do. The artwork is horrible. I don't like the artwork in it at all though. And the minor rule tweaks are not that amazing, and it is basically just a carbon copy of Marvel Legendary. I've already got Marvel Legendary. And Marvel Legendary has superheroes. I love superheroes, as if that wasn't obvious with my number 1. And Big Trouble in Little China, I like it as a nostalgic, cheesy film, but it wasn't something I desperately needed a board game of. Certainly not a Legendary system game of. Then I hear there's a miniatures version coming out though, or some other form of the game. I'll check it out. But yeah, I mean, it was an interesting one to think about, but just not for me. So that's it for the Aftermath episode. Quite a lengthy one, and I can already tell from that light going that it is getting dark on this video. So I'm going to take that as a subtle hint to switch this off now and maybe go to bed actually. I'll get on to editing this one soon though, so that you can enjoy it and reflect on it. I want to hear your feedback. I want to hear your comments. You know, what games have I mentioned today that you think should have hit the top 100? Which ones fell off the list that you think was, you know, a crime to do that? Which ones out of those, ones that you gave me feedback and asked me to comment on, do you think should have made the list? Was I too harsh on some? Do you think I'm fair? Whatever. I want to hear the engagement. I want to hear the feedback. If you like what you've seen, please subscribe to the channel, check my podcast out, check the actual blog site out, and if you can, please subscribe to my Patreon campaign to help me keep up with the equipment and the hosting fees and everything that I want to do to keep the broken Meeple up and running as good as it can be. But for now, I'm going to head off, so with that marks the end of the 2017 Top 100. I hope you've enjoyed it. I look forward to 2018, the anniversary of the Broken Meeple, which will be 5 years at that point. 5 years of doing this. Definitely cool. It's been a long trip, but it's not going to get any easier, and it certainly isn't going to be any less fun. Until then, you'll just have to put up with reviews and top 10 lists, because yes, the top 10 list will return. It was just a break whilst I was doing the top 100, but we'll be kicking off soon with my top 10 Zen games. I will be doing that shortly, and I will get that one out as soon as possible. And I'm looking to try some other things. I've bought one of those Sony gimbal things, or whatever they're called. Not Sony, DJI Osmo Mobile or something. It's a little handheld device that keeps your phone steady with videos. And I've got a brand new mobile as well, a Samsung Galaxy S8. And I'm looking forward to testing it out to see whether I can do some kind of handheld stuff to get some footage of actually playing the game when I'm at clubs or on this table. And this might allow me to then do like run-through videos maybe, setup videos, or just introduce some decent B footage into other reviews and top 10s. And also, I'm kind of overdue for a Geekerson table review, so it would allow me to do, a much better idea of that, because the stiff one on the tripod, it's very cumbersome to have to get that around this room where there's only so much space. Anyway, I can see it's getting way too dark, so that's it for me. I'm off. Whatever you think of the top 100 or the other 50 plus games I've talked about today, remember that at the end of the day, no matter how amazing I think these games are, no matter how much you either hate or love the games I've talked about, just remember, as always, they're still only games. See you soon, guys. Take care, all of you in America. Hope all's going well for you now. Until then, see you next time. Thank you very much.